Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Faber Castell's oil pastels. This particular set comes in a sturdy plastic box. I couldn't find this exact set online, but I did find another 24 oil pastel set from Faber Castell in the same hexagonal shape that retails for $12.66 on Amazon US. The packaging on that one is a little different. Instead of this thick white plastic with 2 rows of oil pastels stacked on top of each other, it's just one row next to the other encased in a clear plastic. If you break down the $12.66, you'll be paying about 53 cents per stick. This set is labeled non-toxic and washable. Oddly enough, this set comes with 2 whites, but one of them is labeled pink. I wonder if this is a blip in the batch or just some weird arrangement. There's a slight difference between the 2 whites. One of them seems almost cooler and the other one a little bit warmer toned. This kind of makes me think that they might have put it there intentionally, but then again, why the weird labeling? It's kind of weird to have 2 whites in such a small pack, especially for something like oil pastels where you don't really mix colors that much. This line boasts an ergonomic shape which prevents hand fatigue and pastels from rolling off the table. These obviously aren't artist grade oil pastels, but I was trying to see if they offered any information on light fastness, and the only thing I could find was this little section on their website which says that all their oil pastels are light fast. But the tricky thing here is that they're only showcasing the oil pastels from the different line, which are cylindrical and not hexagonal. Personally, I found these oil pastels to lay down kind of scratchy. If you paid close attention to the swatch card earlier, you might have noticed that the swatches came off a little patchy in the sense that there is a sort of texture to the swatches and some parts are darker than others, and you can't really do anything about that. It's just the way the oil pastel comes off. I tried to use my go-to tool for getting into tiny spaces with oil pastels and blending them out, but it didn't seem to be doing much, so I had to resort to using my fingers. And honestly, it kind of hurt my fingers to try to blend these guys. They didn't really spread like I wanted them to. It was easier to spread once I laid it on thicker, but it still had a lot of friction to it and not much give. They do, however, take well to blending with other colors. So the most enjoyable way to blend these guys is probably to get another color, maybe a lighter color, and kind of merge it in using the stick directly. That also kind of means that they don't layer that well. You can still layer with them, but it's not as striking of a difference because they kind of blend together into a mush in a way. It's just kind of different techniques that you can appreciate. It might be hard to achieve striking highlights. Tinting would probably work since they blend together like that. My biggest issue though is that these oil pastels kind of clump up. Like if you notice on the top left of the lip, it's kind of weird and spotty, and you'll see more examples of this later on as we draw more of this out. The pigments seem to clump up and you can kind of shift them around, but it's still unflattering and it can't really even out. And I have tried these oil pastels on different paper and it's the same issue. To be 100% transparent with you guys, there is a smell to these oil pastels, and while it doesn't really bother me per se, it's definitely there. Like, my sister walked in the room and she knew I was using these oil pastels because she could smell it right away. I think where the oil pastel really shines is in how it performs with sgraffito, because look at how it scratches the pigments off. It comes off very cleanly and easily. There's hardly a stain left underneath after it flakes off. These are very much geared towards kids. Everything from the packaging, which is robust, and I mean, you could throw this in a kid's school backpack and nothing would happen to it. It's pretty damn sturdy. To the color selection, and that's another thing I want to talk about. Why would you give, aside from the things I've mentioned before, why would you give a kid 2 whites? Do you know any kids who need 2 whites? It's pretty much only artists who use 2 whites. at least from my perspective, because would a kid really bother about a cool tone or a warm tone white? I don't know. But then again, it could just be that I got like a weird batch. I didn't mention this in the video, but the hexagonal shape is also supposed to help train kids to have a proper grip on the materials, like physical grip, and I'm not sure if that's a real thing. I mean, I don't have kids. I don't know. I feel like kids would be fine with regular cylindrical oil pastel. I guess it would probably help with hand fatigue, at least for those little hands. For someone like me, I don't really have an issue with cylindrical oil pastels, so it didn't really make that much of a difference, but I will admit it was comfy using this shape. I don't know if I would recommend these for artists. Like, sure, you can make good sketchbook work or even serious work if you're willing to go through that, but I feel like it might not be worth your money as an artist. You could probably save up just a little, or maybe even for the same price, and get something even better. It's not the world's worst oil pastels by any means. It's just the minor inconveniences that add up, like the smell and the clumping and things like that that could easily be avoidable with a different brand. All in all, an affordable, good choice for your kids maybe. For artists, maybe not, maybe pick something else, I don't know. If you want to though, these aren't that bad, honestly. You could get away with using them. It's just personal preference again. But that was me sharing my experience with these guys. I hope you found that useful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.